Hi, and welcome to the Booktube Club of October, brought to you from the airport. I'm currently stuck in the airport because my flight got cancelled and I have 3 hours to kill, so, you know, I might as well just sit here and humiliate myself in public while talking to myself into a camera. So I'm gonna do September and October, and the first book that I read in September was obviously Queen of Shadows. The first thing after I finished Queen of Shadows was, wow, this book is so good. I love Sarah J. Maas. And then I started reading some reviews, and I started, you know, after your initial, oh my god, what just happened, mind blow situation, you start to put your brain into gear and you start to think about things. And I can see where people are coming from, how Whalen and Rowan and Kale, how their characters are not quite as is seen in the past 3 books, and how Whalen, you know, kind of overturned a lot of her decisions that she made in the first 3 books. But personally, I still really enjoyed the story, which is why I still gave it 5 stars. And it's not 100% natural character development. I'm not quite happy with the whole Rowan and Whalen romantic situation, but overall, I still really like the series. I just like where the whole entire story arc is going, and I found it enjoyable. Next, I read The Invasion of the Tearling by Erika Johanson, which is the second book in the Tearling, Queen of Tearling series. I don't know what the series is called. If you don't know, the Queen of the Tearling is about a girl named Kelsia, who is the heir to the Tearling throne. And she has been living a sheltered life away from the whole entire politics. And upon reaching, I think, 19 or 18, some age where she comes of age, she wants to ascend to the throne, and she has difficulties because there's already a regent in place, there are politics going on. She struggles and she tries to reclaim her throne. I love the political intrigues, I love the magic that has been going on in this book, and I did foresee a lot of things to the point where I was almost annoyed, but not really. Like, I still wasn't 100% sure, but I was able to foresee a lot of things. I don't know why, but I found Kelsia's character a little bit annoying in this book. She was very insecure, and I think that's supposed to mirror her relationship to the Red Queen's relationship. I hope that this will kind of settle down in the next book. Other than that, I still really enjoyed the characters, I really enjoyed the story, and I love the interplay between like past but actually modern, like present time, and the Tearling time, and how the story goes back and forth and how it intertwines. That was really cool. Next, I read more YA fantasy, and I read The Heart of Betrayal, which is the second book in the Kiss of Deception, or the Remnant Chronicles. The beginning was a little bit cheesy, but after like the first 50 pages, the story picks up again, and I remembered how much I actually enjoyed the first book. And I was kind of hesitant because, you know, the first book, the whole entire story of the first book is based on you not knowing who the assassin and the princess. So I was kind of skeptical if the second book would be able to capture my interest, because that element is gone. Like, by the end of the first book, you know who is who. So there's no mystery in that anymore. I can't go further because there's like chairs here. Ghost, normal, ghost, normal, ghost, normal. Oh my god, I'm so weird. You know how normally the heroine has like one right path that she more or less goes down, and that's just the way the story goes. I like how in the sequel a new path kind of opens for Leah. I don't know what's going to happen because I have no idea how that Benden society works, and how she's gonna gain power there, but we will see. We will see. Next 2 books were, wait for it, more YA fantasy, and they were The Queen and King of Attolia by Megan Whalen Turner, which is the second and third book in the Thief trilogy. And personally, I really, really, really like this series. The thing that kind of sets it apart is just the writing style, because Megan Whalen Turner writes so to the point, and not, I wouldn't say dry, but like so bare-boned, if that's a phrase. Like, it doesn't really flourish. So as a reader, that actually challenges you to actually pay attention to every single sentence, because you just might miss something. A battle might be over in 3 sentences, and then after like another passage you realize, oh my god, that was the epic battle, or oh my god, they actually have feelings for each other, or oh my god, like what just happened, you know? It's really hard to describe. The first book, the first half, The Thief, as already said, is kind of dry and boring, but then after the second half and the second and the third book, they're really good. I really like it. It isn't really like an epic story. I just really like the distinct difference in her writing style. Next, I read The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Ness. It's basically making fun of all these, I guess, typical YA books where there's one heroine or one group of people, they rescue everyone, and the normal people, they just get ignored. This book focuses on the normal people while there's a paranormal subplot going on in the background. And the whole entire paranormal subplot basically goes down in those chapter headers, and they are the most hilarious things ever. Like, they're so on point, so just cliche, and oh my god, I laughed so much. Ness always focuses on some sort of social issues. He is about mental illness, broken families, homosexuality, and a bunch of other things. And it basically puts focus on that the normal people living their life around these heroes and heroines, they have problems as well, and you know, their problems may seem just as big, and maybe a weird alien invasion is nothing compared to what's going on in their personal lives. It was lovely, it was funny, it was heartwarming. It's just like a typical Ness novel. I'm sitting right next to the toilet, and the looks that these ladies are giving me, thick skin. Next, I finally delved back down into epic fantasy, and I read The Wise Man's Fear, which is the second book in the Kingkiller Chronicles, yes, by Rothfuss. I haven't really read any like big books this year, and this was finally like, I'm gonna do it again, and I loved it. It's so easy to read. It's poetic, it just kind of flows, and it's a page turner. It's not too difficult to get into. The story arc and the quality of writing is constantly good, but there's still like nothing which is spectacular. So it definitely justifies my 5 stars, but I just like, knowing how Goodreads usually rates books, I don't really understand why it has such high ratings, if that makes any sense. And the one and only book that I read in October was The Sword of Summer, which is the first book in Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, so basically the Norse version of Percy Jackson, also by Riordan. Magnus Chase is the cousin of Annabeth Chase, and he is a demigod, but not a Greek demigod. He is a Norse demigod, and he kind of stumbles into his demigod life and goes on adventures Riordan style. I loved the chapter titles. They were so Percy Jackson-like. The one with Jason Grace was hilarious. Magnus Chase as a character, I find him a little bit bland. Not as bland as Jason Grace, but still not as good as Percy, which is basically my thought throughout this whole entire book was, give me more Annabeth, I miss Percy. I know it's wrong to think that way, and I know it ruins a book, but I just can't help it. Like, their worlds are so close together, how can I not think about Percy? I just miss Percy. Is that so bad? I just really miss Percy. Yeah, that was my Booktube club of September and October, brought to you from this ever light-changing airport, and I'll go to my gate now. But first I'll go to the bathroom, and see you next time. Bye bye.